This ain't no joke, this ain't no game. This that CSZ game. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55 was goody. Kill the vibe, how could he? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. On the show, spread fake news. We just call it podcast. West Joey, Sam, Shawn, Dalton. And you know that boy hit you. He said he wants small fries. Tell him they better make him big. Yeah, you already know what we be on.
You bet. Jordan. Here he goes. This place is gone.
If we set it and set it in stone, shit in the city, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal Sports Zone.
Straight steal of home. The slide. The Cards win.
The magic is working tonight. How do you know when things are
The emotional journey to the championship.
Just realized there was a little bit of Joe Test in the intro there. Listen, everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Wyman, coming here to you live from the Rally House Studios with my co-host for the evening. He, what were we going to say earlier about Shawn?
Chugi?
No, but then I said I was going to call him Chugi Shawn, but then instead, can't even remember. Shawn Barber, everybody.
How's it going?
Mr. No Yeet. And next to him, he is the women's basketball beat writer. He puts the D in, well, just about anything. It's our guy, I'm just kidding. It's our guy, Sam Baisden.
What up, what up?
The thoughts and comments of
He
Jeremy
plays-
Wyman does not necessarily
He plays press D.
press. And last but not least, the big little brother, Joe Wyman.
Acknowledge me.
Listen, you all will have to
I will have your souls.
calm down, corporate Cody. Have to apologize a little bit. I've do have a little bit of a hoarse voice tonight.
Same.
Been for reasons. But don't forget the Mossy Oak chat line is open. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or however, send us your questions on social. Check out the graphic below to see how you can follow the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast on all the social media outlets and how to help support monetarily. You can do the YouTube subscriptions, you can do the gifts, etc., etc. Hit that thumbs up button while you're here on YouTube. Make sure you're watching on YouTube if you can. It'll help us out more. Shout out to our fine sponsors, Fitness Market, Four Pegs, the Collision Course Crew Tailgaters, Cherry Picking, Shoot 360, Mossy Oak, Planet Fitness, and Rally House. I appreciate all those guys. And we do have a little bit of a special announcement at the end of the show. But we are starting off with a little bit on a little bit of a somber note this week. As some of you all know, well, most of y'all should know that follow the show, follow us on social media. We lost a good friend on Wednesday, Ben Gumble, men's basketball beat writer. Been with us for 7 years. Passed away peacefully on February the 19th at Jewish Hospital, surrounded by his loving family after a sudden illness. And when I say sudden, it was like, the way I understand, it all happened really, really fast. I did take an excerpt from the obituary that his brother Mark supplied with me, and I appreciate Mark, Rachel, and Jennifer for sending me, his brother, sister, and cousin for sending me information on everything. But Ben was a graduate of St. Raphael Grade School and St. Xavier High School, class of 2014. He attended WKU, where he was a member of the Kentucky Beta chapter of Sigma Alpha Epsilon, and he was a graduate of the U of L. Ben was employed with Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Ben loved his sports teams and films. He was always cheering on his favorite teams: Western Kentucky, U of L, and the Reds, the Dolphins, Celtics, and Paris Saint-Germain FC. I guess that's a soccer club.
Yes.
He was fortunate enough to travel and cheer for all of his teams in person. Ben also wrote for the Cardinal Sports Zone website, covering U of L basketball as a credentialed media member. Ben enjoyed tracking and reviewing all of his favorite films on his Letterboxd account. Ben was a kind, gentle, and caring young man. As a final charitable act, Ben chose to donate his organs for medical research. Ben was preceded in death by his grandparents, Mary Lou and Bill, Chester and Jack Gumble, and his best pal, Griffey. We wanted to make sure that we honored him in his memory. He was a great guy who will be missed by many. We wanted to make just wanted to share a couple of stories. And if you all knew Ben personally, please send something in the chat and we'll share those stories. Immediately, I reached out to Kenny Klein because when Ben first took the position with Cardinal Sports Zone, he mentioned to me he wanted to, impress Kenny because him and Kenny, he said he knew Kenny. That's all he told me. While talking to Kenny today, Kenny let me know it was a little bit deeper than that. His son went to school with Ben and Mark since grades. Ben was a twin. Mark was his twin brother. And Kenny's son went with him since grade school. Went to school with him since grade school. Played together on church league basketball teams. He said terrific family, fellow members at St. Raphael. Said he already heard the news, but appreciated me letting him know. So many stories I could tell you. Jennifer was telling me, his cousin Jennifer was telling me a story about apparently Ben was an avid Backstreet Boys fan, which I didn't know. And I told her, I said, well, I never knew that about him. And now that I think about it, there's probably a reason why he never told me, because I never would have let him, hear the end of it. So it's probably a good thing he didn't tell me. On the day my dad passed away, that was the twins' birthday, July the 1st. So we had put out a statement about Dad, and then later in the day, after I got home to sleep a little bit, got up and said my birthday, happy birthdays. There, you get that Facebook notification. Got on Facebook, wish everybody happy birthdays, and Ben responded back, "Dude, what are you doing?" I was like, "Just wishing you a happy birthday." He's like, "You need to be focusing on your family," and and I told him, I was like, this is kind of me getting away from everything, and it was an outlet like this podcast was for a couple of months after his passing. So really good dude, cared a lot about everybody at the website, checked on me a lot while I was in the hospital, like you two did. You three did. Well, Joey pretty much lived with me at the hospital. I didn't
have to check on you.
No, you didn't have to check on me.
I was handling business.
But Shawn, I don't know if you know this, but he was convinced at the very beginning that you didn't like him.
What?
Yes. I went back and looked through our conversation so I could pull out some stuff. And he's like, man, I love writing for you all. But Shawn, I don't think Shawn likes me. I was like, well, why do you say that? Well, I always tell him when my story's ready, and it takes them forever to post. I said, Ben,
no,
that's with everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, I told him, I said, if you only knew how many times Sam wrote up a women's basketball story that ended up in the trash because Shawn waited 2 weeks to post it, you wouldn't. And he's like, oh, good.
Sam wrote up a story?
Yeah, he does occasionally.
Ben was a good writer, though.
He was a fantastic writer. He was somebody, and this is not any shade to anybody at the table, which normally when I say that, it means it's 1,000% shade. But this time it's not. I never had to. He texted me every day before the game and was like, can you send me a parking pass for the game? I would send him our credential parking spot pass for the game. He would let me know right before the game ended. He's like, almost, we're just waiting on the press conferences, and you can post it later. And he actually did write half of the Florida State, and I'm going to read part of his last writings for the website. It was something I had to finish up because he told me he had an impromptu family situation he had to get to. We played Sunday night. So just not that long before he ultimately passed away. So I do want to share that last story. I feel like it's some of it, needs to be read for healing purposes. John Chester said, thank you very much for honoring my nephew, Ben. Ben was he deserves this. Like a lot of people would say, "Oh, well, people are just doing this for certain stuff." No, we're doing this because Ben deserves to be honored. He deserves to be praised. I mean, I can show you screenshots every year or so. Not so much lately, but we used to do employee evaluations, right, Shawn? He never got a bad one. His was always, please try not to do as good next year, so you don't make everybody else look bad. So it's our honor to recognize your nephew because such a great dude, and our thoughts, our prayers, our love is with the entire family. Uh, Mossy Oak, our sponsor, says, "What's up, crew? What's up, Paul?" And Fabian's showing his praying hands. We appreciate that. So we're going to get to the first part of our show today. Recap of Notre Dame. Chucky Edwards scored 16 points and added 6 assists. Javon Hadley had 10.7 rebounds. Rain had 12 points off of 4 threes. Terrence Deuce, I don't know if that's what I'm going to call him or not, had 14, and Mr. Double-Double Oops Scott had 10 and 10 as the Cards show away pesky Notre Dame 75-60. That's win number 20 on the season. We waited what seemed like forever for the prior game to finish. Before it did, the Cards got a few quick threes from the Rainmaker to make the score 10-8 when the game finally came on regular TV. Notre Dame played pretty good until that point. The Cards would then go on a 13-0 run to go up 25-18 with 8 minutes left in the half. Notre Dame answers with a mini 4-0 run themselves to pull within 25-22 with 5 minutes left in the half. The water was not wet. Notre Dame played really good defense, holding Louisville to 25 points in the first 15 minutes. For Notre Dame, former Cardinal hopeful Tay Davis and former Cardinal hopefuls Tay Davis and Sir Muhammad were balling out as well at that point. James Scott shot 4 free throws over the last 4 minutes, hit 2 of them, and made up for the misses the next possession by cashing in on a lob from Chucky, followed by a TE2 three-pointer. The Cards hustled on the boards as Booby got it done, Traore. Louisville benefited from a 0-2 free throw trip by Notre Dame, but Rain came down and missed an immediate transition 3. The Cards went into the half up 35-28 after Rain's third three of the half at the buzzer. And this is some of Ben's thoughts here. It was Notre Dame pushing the pace, coupled with Louisville shooting a low for them 40% from the field that kept the Cards in check in the first half. Notre Dame scored the first 4 points of the second half before Rain ended that with his 100th made three-pointer of the season. He put the Cards up 38-32. Tay Davis and one then pulled the Irish within 38-35. Terrence Edwards, the second, I'm going to say it different every time, hit a 3 followed by a Hadley power bucket to quiet the comeback noise and go up 43-35. The Cards then took their biggest lead of the evening on a Terrence the second to Oop Scott to push it up 11 with 9 minutes remaining. A Booby and 1 and 2 Hadley threes put the Cards up 18. They just boom you. U of L did play with their food a little bit, which is one of my concerns over the next 4 minutes. And Notre Dame pulled back within 12 with less than 4 minutes remaining. Bunch of back and forth to end the game with a Chucky charge. Notre Dame played the Cards really tough. It seemed like every single time the Irish made a move, the Cards snuffed them out. The Cards went on 2 boom runs, and that's all it took. This game was never in danger. An audible Cards chant ends the night. The Cards will have 6 days off before hosting FSU at noon Saturday on the CW.
Oh.
Oof. And that was Ben's last paragraphs there. The last 2 were his paragraphs.
Their coach went on a rant and
Coach went on a
broke
rant
the
after the game.
microphone.
Yeah. Literally, if you wanted to complain about anything, there's not really much you can. Sam, and I know you're going to go into detail on the Women's Week here in a little bit, but just give us a little bit of insight. What are some of you, and I know we've talked about this before, so yes, we're going over some of the same stuff we've been over before, but those things can change weekly. For me, I'm still worried about how they play. I am and I'm not when they're up a lot, because they'll go up 20, and before you know it, they're up 11. But then again, you blink your eye and they're back up 15 or 16 points. Is there anything else that really concerns you at this moment about the Louisville men's basketball team?
Besides the dreaded injuries, not really.
You can't say that word. We've not had one in a while. That's not been an issue for us this year.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
James Scott lost his 2 front teeth.
he did that for the gram. Dennis Evans lost his 2 front teeth last year, and it didn't lead to anything. So
Good.
I do worry about player fatigue, though. I know these guys are young. There is something that I feel like when we're up maybe 15, 14 points or whatever, there are times where you can get a Antonelli or Spencer like one of your walk-ons can spell for another minute before the under 8 or the under 4 timeout, something like that. Then there are times where we're up 15 with about 2 minutes left to go in the game. I feel like you don't have to empty your bench out all together, but you can kind of slowly, one by one, get other people in there, because at the end of the day, I mean, these minutes add up. So, and that's the only thing I'm kind of worried about is how fresh their legs are going to be when it comes to the end of the season, especially when you get the ACC play and tournament play. And if we're right now, we're a top 4 seed, so we wouldn't have to play that much games, but it's the back-to-back games that I kind of worry about.
All season I said fatigue, like that might be a problem. The amount of bodies we have, that fatigue may come into
style.
I'm reversing course on it. Like, I don't think it is going to be an issue. I really don't. I think conditioning has a lot to do with that. And after you've seen the picture of Ali, like, our strength and conditioning coach has got to be up for, if there's an award for that position in college basketball, he's got to be up for it. I think to a point, it's kind of like use it or lose it, right? You know, that keeps their body their body's getting used to playing 35, 35, 38 minutes a game. And they never look winded.
Not really. The only time I saw it was
you see some of them breathing heavy, but I mean, you're running up and down a basketball court.
Yeah, Edwards, in the one game he had to play his starting point guard, he was
like 40 minutes or something.
Yeah, he was gassed.
Yeah.
So for you, Sam, the only worries is kind of like the substitute, because I'm with you on that. The substitution
in blowout, no,
you're right. In blowouts, sometimes he puts in the troops a little bit too early, and it diminishes the final margin of a victory. Shawn, anything else that bothers you?
Yeah, there's one thing, and that is,
I meant like on the basketball team, not with your love life.
In our losses, something I've noticed is a lot of people worried about
y'all done said the I word, now the L word. We've not lost this year. We're undefeated this year, except for the one loss.
Well, they're worried about bigger teams, like taller, stronger teams out rebounding us, and that's not really caused us issues. What's caused us issues is teams that have the smaller, quicker guards. They're able to blow right by a lot of our perimeter defenders and get to the rim. And that's the one thing, even the Georgia Tech game that happened.
I didn't see the second half of the Georgia Tech game. We played really well the first half. I didn't see the second half.
Well,
they blow past Rain.
Yeah, Rain and Noah Waterman.
Well, Noah's not a guard though.
Yeah, but he does play on the perimeter.
He shouldn't be guarding their guard, is what I'm saying. You had said like their guards get through. But we have good help interior defense. I mean, they may get through, but a lot of the times that second line is there to stop them or force them into a worse shot.
And to be completely fair with them as well, their rotation is almost 100% spot on. So I know it sucks that you're getting beat and break down from the perimeter, but when they do rotate, they rotate. It's almost, they're connected in so many ways. So The defense basically is doing what they need to do, or what they should do. But I know Coach Kelsey and the coaching staff would probably wish that some of these players would win their one-on-one battles more often, rather than having to rely on the help defense. But it's there for a reason. So
we have Florida State tomorrow at home on the dreaded CW, where Louisville has had some issues in basketball and football. Wasn't the Georgia Tech game on the CW? And then our Pittsburgh football game a couple years back when one of our starting linemen slipped and tore something in I can't even remember who
Ronaldo Brown.
Yeah.
And I think that was the same game where Jawar didn't play the whole game either. I think
he played the first 2 or 3 snaps.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So we got to break the CW curse tomorrow. I mean, I'm sure there's other examples of us winning on it. I don't, but that won't fit my narrative right now, so I'm not going to go with that. Let's go ahead and reset. I know we've only been on here for a half hour. We got a lot more to get to. Join us. Send it again if you are on this. If you're watching this feed, and you knew Ben, and you got a story you want to share, like the ones we've been sharing all night, feel free to do that. We'll be right back in about 2 minutes to reset. This is the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. See you in a second. Shout out to all of our fine sponsors, the Collision Course Crew Tailgaters. It's time. Located behind the El Nepal at 2745 Crittenden Drive. They're set up there all football season for the home game. Shout out to Bill, Garrett, Rhino, Craig, Kevin, Doc, and the crew. Rest in peace, Corrito, for a great time. Hit up the Collision Course Crew Tailgaters. For Peg's Beer Lounge, where every week is either Wings Day or the Ribs Day. On Wings Day, $20 all-you-can-eat jumbo smoked wings and $1.25 per wing all day long. On the Ribs Day, come get the best ribs in the Ville for just $25 all you can eat, or $2 a bone all day long. Fitness Market. Contact our fine friends at Fitness Market to find out how they can furnish your dream at-home gym. From treadmills to saunas to weights, they have you covered. Planet Fitness. Shout out to Planet Fitness and Rick Cooper for helping us look sharp on the sidelines this summer. Great monthly deals for memberships as well. Check your local listings for a location near you. Cherry Pickin', a hoops-themed cold-pressed juice and smoothie bar inspiring you to take what's good. Conveniently located at 828 East Main Street behind the local seltzery. Tell them CSZ sent you for 15% off your total order. Shoot 360, a premier state-of-the-art basketball training facility with highly skilled trainers. Call 515-6556 and sign up today. Great value all around. And if you go to shoot360.com, you can pre-register for a free workout. Come to Shoot 360, the world's most advanced basketball training facility. Rally House. Check out our friends at the Jefferson Mall. Lisa, Dee, Rico, Amanda, and the crew. Tell them Cardinal Sports Zone sent you. They'll make sure you get taken care of really well. Rally House. Our house. Your house. Rally House. Local stuff. Last but not least, our fine friends at Mossy Oak and Hart Properties. If you are in the market to buy or sell farms, land, recreational, or residential areas in the state of Kentucky, let Paul or one of their team of professionals at Mossy Oak and Hart Realty help you out with all your buying and selling needs. Call Paul at 270-537-4422 or email him at pthomas@mossyoakproperties.com. Mossy Oak, we know land. I don't think we talk enough about how much that voiceover guy deserves a raise, but I just did. Welcome back to the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. I'm Jeremy. I'm here with Shawn, Sam, and Joey, who's acknowledging himself. Coming to you live tonight to go over a little bit, to go over Notre Dame, but to celebrate the life of one of our friends who we lost unexpectedly on Monday. He was 28 years old. It's just, you just sit back and you think about how, it still shakes me up a whole lot. But we're glad that you all have joined to not only, because I know a lot of his family's watching, and we appreciate you all tuning in. But, we appreciate you all joining us on a Friday night. We have learned that we do get a exponentially bigger crowd on Friday nights, so that's why we're doing it at this time. We may switch it during the summer to accommodate Sam's evening needs, but I digress. Also, don't forget, go to spencerstand.com. Our guy Spencer Legg shares his story of being a type 1, division 1 type 1 diabetic. He tells the story of how he was able to train for basketball, play basketball, what role it played in his life, how important it was. And he also offers a variety of NIL packages there. I believe it's for $10. You can spend 1 hour video chatting, just like if you were chatting with us here, like a Zoom call, if you will. $10 for, is it 50? What's the next one? Yeah, for 50, you can go up to the Cooper Center and shoot around with him and some of the guys for 2 hours. That's pretty fun. But the one that I can't wait for, because we're all going to do this one by the end of the year, and we need to do it quick because limited opportunities coming up. But for $50, you can have a game day experience with the fellows, be in the locker room before and after the game, premium seating. It's a 3-hour approximate run time for that. It's a great time, and get out there and support the team, whether it's through Spencer Stand or there's a variety of home game packages that they've released over the last few weeks to help fill up the stands, and it's been doing good, man. We've got such a great home court advantage again, which is nice to see. Shawn, we're going to go really quickly. And the people who are tuning in for the first time are going to think this is odd, but it's something we do every week. It's the hottest segment that's hitting the nation. Shawn, take it away.
No.
No hand-to-hand combat?
God.
Don't answer that, Shawn.
I was going to call him Chuggy Shawn, but now we're going to call him the Glazing One.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Wow. Sam, a lot of stuff going on in women's basketball this week, including, Sam knows what it means, including a upset of Duke last night. Was it last night? It was last night, correct?
Yeah.
I don't know what day it is anymore. Kind of update us on what we've talked how inconsistently consistent this team's been all season. This kind of falls in line with that. Tell everybody about the game a little bit and kind of let them know what they got left on the remainder of their regular season.
Okay, so yeah, we the women's team went up to Durham, North Carolina, at Duke, and defeated the number 11th ranked team in the country 70-62. Jada Curry led the team with 24 points. Jalea Williams chipped in with 13, and Taj Robertson, the freshman, had 11 points. So right now with that win, what it did was it put Louisville in a tie for, I guess you could say, third or fourth with North Carolina at 12-3. And their remaining games are left are at home to North Carolina, home against Clemson, and then in South Bend, Indiana for Notre Dame to close out the regular season. To me, we and Joey was talking about it earlier. I think we just need to win. I think we came up with 2 more. Just win 2 more to solidify a double bye. I think it's 2 more to get to third place.
Third place, yeah. I think we really only need to beat Clemson.
Yes.
To stay in the first round bye.
So for those of our viewers or listeners, however you're watching this or listening, obviously if you're watching tonight, you're watching, but the podcast does go off onto the audio over 125 podcast avenues and all. Are any of those teams that you just mentioned that we have left on the schedule ranked in the top 25?
Yes, 2 of them. North Carolina's ranked 10th, and of course Notre Dame is ranked number 1.
Yep.
But
we just beat number 11 on the road,
right?
So
the good thing is,
North Carolina's at home.
That is true. The Cards have won 6 of their last 7, and out of those 6 games, 3 of them have been ranked opponents. So,
well, like I said, we started off 6-5.
We did,
and so we're 19-7 now. So 13-2.
And like you said earlier, and we've been saying it all year, all season so far, is they're inconsistent, but they're young. Like you said, our leading scorer right now is a freshman. Who would have thought that coming into the year? Raise your hands.
No, I would have thought Curry was our leading scorer.
It would have been between Olivia Cochran and Jada Curry for me, but both would have been wrong. So
yeah.
But like I said, we've won 6 of the last 7. We have a big game against North Carolina at home in the Yum Center. So go out there, support the young ladies. We only have 2 more home games remaining. After this one, we have the Clemson game. I think that's on a Thursday. That will be senior night. So you get to say goodbye to Olivia Cochran, Jada Curry, Julia Williams, and Marissa Russell. I didn't forget anybody, right? No.
That's your job.
So
yeah, that's not a hard job.
No, just remembering the names. But so also a side note, Taj Roberts, like I said, she's the leading scorer. She's also won her 5th ACC Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of
the Week.
Yeah.
I'm kind of foreshadowing, hoping that she does win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
But
you heard it here first. Sam Baisden guarantees. If it's at Vegas, put your money on it. Sam guarantees.
Stone Cold Lead Pipe Lock.
Yeah. Wait a minute. What?
But it's tough for me, and I know it's going to be tough for voters too, because Toby Fournier from Duke, she's also won it five times, and then the guard from Georgia Tech has also won it 5 times. So you have 3 different players that's won the Rookie of the Week.
Let me ask you a question.
Backtracking.
No, let me ask you a question. Head to head, who's got the best record against the other 2?
Louisville, Taj Roberts.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Team wise.
Yay.
So
yeet.
Boo.
Yeet.
Yay.
Yeet.
Okay.
Skirt.
So we got a double feature this weekend. We've got the Cards at home tomorrow, noon on the CW, versus the Florida State Fighting Metros.
Cardinals win.
It should. It hasn't so far. Against the Fighting Metros of Florida State. And then on Sunday, we host the North Carolina made-up classes, Tar Heels, in women's basketball. At what time?
Oh, shoot.
1?
I think it might be 2.
2?
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. But it should be a good game, 2 o'clock. North Carolina scores around the same amount of points as Louisville per game. They are one of the better defensive teams. Duke is probably the best outside of Notre Dame. It's probably the best defensive team in the ACC. And you see what Louisville did.
What's Louisville average? I'm just out of curiosity, points-wise, this season.
73 points a game.
Okay, so Sam is guaranteeing a 73-62 victory for the Cards on Sunday,
which would be right around what Louisville averages in terms of giving up, because they give up about 68 points a game.
There you go, 73-62, guys. Sam Locke.
So, yeah.
He's gonna make y'all a lot of money on tonight's show.
But
what is your actual prediction for Sunday?
He's going. Here we go.
The Tar Heels are going to win 4-0.
I do think Louisville will pull this one out. I think it's going to be closer than people think. I'm going to go with 71-68 Louisville.
Louisville averages 72. They average 68. I'm going to 68.
North Carolina averages 74. But the reason why I said 68 is because that's right around what Louisville averages, but their defense has been coming along lately. And that's one thing about Coach Walt's teams is they play really, really good defense. And
we said all year long, let them
cook,
get some time to gel in that 6-5 start. So we talked about this earlier as well. Out of their 7 losses, 6 of the losses are to teams ranked in the top 21 in the net rankings. And even the 7th loss
is on the road to Virginia
Tech, but they're like 41st. So, I mean, it's not an absolutely horrible loss. but they played UCLA.
They lost to Oklahoma, which I felt they should have won. They were up in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
they played some tough teams, and like I think, it sucks starting 6-5, but it's helped them the rest of the season, I believe. And they're starting to they've started to gel. Everybody's getting to eat. Whether it's rebounding, assists, steals, scoring, like. I'm just saying, man. Elite 8 team. They have the possibility to be an Elite 8 team.
Anytime Jeff Walls is your coach, that's an automatic Elite 8.
And all the freshmen come. Like if they all come back, come on, bro.
So you went 71-68, and he said that Louisville pulls out. He's an expert, so I'm gonna go with him on that. You didn't pick pull out expert. Shawn, you're not an expert. What is your prediction?
He's a stay out expert. I never in.
I'm gonna go 75-65. I think we win by 10. I think we can win by 10 because I like what I see out of Jada Curry right now, and I think she's gonna be X factor down the stretch.
78-62.
Whoa.
I like it.
100-30. No.
We better get bumped up to the 2 seed line if that happens.
Right.
What did I say, Shawn? Sam's guess was 74-62?
71-68.
No.
What did I say your guess?
73. I'm pretty sure it's 73-62.
Okay, that's what I'm going with. 73-62. On the men's side, let's go back the other way. Predictions for the men's game. Now, there have been some experts that are predicting a blowout tomorrow. I don't really see that myself, but Shawn, we'll let you go first on this one. What's the score tomorrow?
It was a 10-point game last time. I think that margin is about right. I think it'll be maybe a little more high scoring, so I'm going to go 82-72 Cards.
All right, Joey?
I'm going 92 92-71. I think it's a blowout. They're hitting on all cylinders. It's at home.
What?
Big crowd. That's
13-point favorites, by the way.
That's one big difference between the Georgia Tech game and this one on the CW is this one's at home.
I'm gonna take the
Sam.
It was a 13-point game. I'm gonna take the under. I think Louisville.
I'm the QB. You're supposed to catch the ball. You're not supposed to throw it to yourself. Sam, what do you think the game's going to end up at?
Flea flicker.
Yeah, he flicks his own flea for sure.
I'll go with the under on that one. I think it's going to be probably 90-80. Florida State is 1-3 their last 4. So I know they have some kind of confidence coming into this game. Louisville has had a week off, just about. I'm not worried about the rust. It's just I think Florida it's going to be a little bit of different.
See, it's not about them; it's about us.
Always, but
no. What I mean by that is you're like, they're coming in with confidence. Well, we're going to kill their confidence. They've won 3 or 4. Okay, cool. We've won 15-17.
Like
that's all I'm saying is like it's not always about them. It's about what we're going to bring to the table, And I just love this team, dude.
I do too, and
it's one of my favorite teams ever.
Like Jeremy said earlier, like we get up 15, and then our style of play kind of changes a little bit. Or we don't.
I don't think it changes. We just start missing shots,
and then other teams make a run, and I think Florida State is probably going to make more than their share of runs to keep it respectable. That's why I say I think it's going to be 90-80.
So they are actually 3-5 in their last 8 games.
3 and 4.
3. He said they've won 3 out of their last.
I know. 4. I'm saying out of the last 8, they've lost 5.
Yeah. It's going to be 6.
It's going to be 6. It's going to be 8. Y'all are all incorrect. It's going to be 80-70. Cards win. Leading scorer. Javon Hadley.
I'm saying Rain Smith 26.
Okay, I'm
7
saying
3s, 2 2s.
I'm going to say Rain or Javon or Terrence or James
Chucky.
Scott or Chucky
or Corin or not, Connie. Yeah.
It's going to be one of them. We have the ability. This is something
He'll be Waterman. Maybe he gets hot.
It would be great to see him finally show up the way how
1 out of 4.
Well, if he shoots 26 threes, he's going to hit
26.
We've got we have figured out in our group chat, and when I say we, I mean me, the Waterman equation. He hits 1 out of every 4. Now he may hit number 4 and then number 5, but then he misses the next 3. He only hits 25%. But I want to say this because I was talking. Who was I talking to about this? Oh, Nolan. I was talking to Nolan about this the other day. He does the intangibles. He rebounds really well. He puts his teammates in positions to be successful. Before I forget, Wes Key says Shawn needs someone to believe in him the way we believe in Joe Hendry. Absolutely, Wes. I couldn't agree anymore. But yeah, 80 to 70 cards. Everybody's going to be in double digits. Boubacar is going to have 10 points.
Points per minute. I think he is our highest scorer.
I would agree.
Booby?
Yeah, because there's been several games where he's had double digit points, and he's only played he's had more points than he played minutes.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, and he rebounds well.
Absolutely. Now we get to get into our fun part of the show, which is rapid fire, and we say fun because Higgy writes this. He thought he was going to pull the wool over my eyes a couple times.
Chat GPT, man.
He definitely AI'd me a couple times, and I was like, bro, you cannot fool me. This is not your writing. Everything's spelled correctly, but none of it makes sense.
He said, shit is the name.
That's exactly what he said. Oh my God, dude! Remind me after the show to tell y'all about some exciting news that I found. I can't tell them yet.
Okay,
but
I'll try to remember. I'm old.
Just the initials TBT will be enough to remind.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you.
Okay,
because if Steve knows, you know.
Well, yeah. Normally it's like telephone, telegram, Steve.
Yeah. He wanted to announce stuff on the radio the other day, but
he didn't.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He held his tongue.
It's a first. U of L men's basketball head coach Pat Kelsey has rightfully been named to the Naismith Men's College Coach of the Year watch list. The awards, Naismith Awards, I guess the awards themselves come to life and spoke. Announced Friday. Kudos to him, man. He deserves it. Only coach in the state, I believe, that made that list. That's pretty big. Okay, I think he AI'd us this time. Number 25/22 Louisville is one of the most improved teams in the country from 2023-24 to 24-25. The Cardinals have improved by 179 spots in the net from the end of the 24 season to February 20th, 2025. The third largest improvement in D1 and the largest of any Power 4 team. The Cardinals have also already improved by 12 wins this season, reaching the 20-win mark against Notre Dame on Sunday. The 12-win improvement is tied for the most in D1 alongside Michigan, Missouri, and New Mexico State through games played on February 19th. There is no shot in...
All I know is
in Hades that he wrote that. He didn't write that.
Elon Musk needs to buy whatever AI he's using because it actually makes him sound.
My God.
Like a great
There's no shot he wrote that. The University of Louisville women's track and field program will be well represented at get out of here. At the 2025 USATF Indoor Championships, as 2 current Cardinals and 1 alum will compete on the national stage this weekend.
Nice.
Ashley Callahan, Natalie Lark, and Gabriella Leon. I like saying Leon.
Maybe it's Leon.
It could be for Leon from up the block.
Time out. Did y'all ever figure out how to pronounce that lady?
Nope.
Name?
No, and we're not going to readdress that at this point.
Oh, God.
Just yet.
Coxswains.
I'm going to say it was
curious.
Pasai.
Pussy.
My fault.
Why? Like the stuff, like when you pop a zit, there's a lot of pus that comes out.
Oh God.
It didn't sound that way. We'll make up roughly a quarter of the field in the women's pole vault championship meet with the event.
Of course it is.
To begin at 1 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, February the 22nd. After 3 days of competition at the 2025 ACC Swimming and Diving Championships, U of L's women are in third place. The men are in fifth. The Louisville women trail only Virginia and Stanford. The men have scored 449 points and trail Cal, Stanford, North Carolina, and NC State. The Cardinals won their first goal of the meet when Tommy Breed pulled away from the field to win the 400 meter individual medley, and Guy Brooks won the bronze in the 200 freestyle. U of L men's golf team wrapped up play at the Prestige, hosted by UC Davis at PGA's West Greg Norman course. PGA West's Greg Norman course, finishing in the tie for 17th with a team total of plus 11. The Cardinals entered the final round in 11th place after shooting a 6-under par as a team on Tuesday. However, the Cardinals fell into a tie for 17th after carding an 8-over par in the final round of action. On Balance, a leading intelligence platform for mental health care management and collegiate athletes, is proud to announce the University of Louisville as the newest member to our Athletes on Balance Leadership Council. Louisville will implement newly released On Balance 3.0 that includes a proprietary mental health care case management scoring system. Advanced anonymous all sports teams reports will empower care providers with better insights and enable improved outcomes for student athletes. University of Louisville senior infielder Kamal Neighbors was named to the 2025 Lou Gehrig Community Impact Team on Wednesday. The team is presented by Pi Delta Theta and the Live Like Lou Foundation. It was selected based on outstanding achievements in 3 key areas, demonstrating a substantial commitment to the community through service and philanthropy, embodying the generous spirit and character of Lou Gehrig, and making remarkable contributions to the success of their respectful teams. Louisville women's golf team closed out the first tournament of the spring in 11th place after the final round of the Moon Golf Invitational Tuesday afternoon at Sun Tree Golf Course. The Cardinals finished the tournament at 25 over par, which sounds like one of my days at the golf course. For the 3 days down there, 3 days. No, that'd be a little bit better than that. Down in the Sunshine State, even though he doesn't tell us where the golf course is located, except for in the Sunshine State. Alyssa Zabala of the U of L softball team was named an ACC, and that's all he wrote. We also want to acknowledge that the baseball team had a decent opening weekend, beating 2 out of 3 teams that were in the top 25, finished 2-1. Their midweek game, I believe, did it get canceled or rescheduled? So weren't they supposed to play today?
Yes,
Melbourne,
but they
Florida.
moved it.
Huh? Melbourne, Florida.
They moved it to Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Okay.
Because of the weather.
Okay. We were going to go over the football press conferences that come out this week. We'll go over that next week. Deion Branch made official this week. Shout out to our guy. Much well deserved. Please support our photographers, Jeff Nunn, TJ Barr, Justin Kruger, Keith Russell. They do a lot of great work, and I mean, people use it. The people will steal it to make edits. People will actually credit the way they're supposed to, and the athletes.
ESPN's done it many times.
Yeah, the athletes use them on their stories and stuff. They love the work that our guys do. We appreciate them. Sponsorship opportunities. Let me get Wes's. By the way, Wes says Shawn needs someone to believe in him the way we believe in Joe Hendry. Just want to say it again. What?
I was beginning to think, we already did this.
Right.
Babu says we won by 14 at FSU and we shoot better on the road. So I say Louisville by 9. Not a bad, great point that he brought up there. Tune in to the show every Friday at 11:05 for our regular time slot. Actually, we go live at 11. We have a little waiting room where you can talk. There's normally a question of the week there. You can chat amongst yourselves. Say what's up to the rest of Card Nation. Stay tuned to our social media and subscribe to us on YouTube or Facebook to be alerted anytime we go live, even though we prefer YouTube. You can find the audio version of this podcast on over 125 podcast avenues. How many, Shawn?
125.
No, over 125.
Over 125. 150.
This is why you don't have a girl. You have
300.
Bad list.
You have 0 listening skills.
1,000.
We're on over 1,000 podcast avenues, according to Shawn. Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, iHeart. Hit subscribe, like, heart, plus sign, or whatever it is that Shawn does on the weekend right now. And they'll download that. If it's on your phone, download it to your music library. If it's on your PC, it'll download it to whichever platform that you're using. Where am I at? If you haven't listened to all the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, it's easy to find. Go to cardinalsportszone.com. Go to the podcast tab, podcast drop-down menu. Select CSZ Podcast for our newer stuff, which is everything the last, since 2019's there. And then everything prior to 2013 when we went on air on ESPN is in the archive section. Check it all out. Good stuff. Some good gems with prior members of the podcast team and some great interviews with some former. I know there's a couple of Uber Andre podcasts on there. I think Spike, our guy Spike Davis, is on there. Lots of them with Steve and Paige and just a variety of people. So make sure you check those out. Check out our exclusives on cardinalsportszone.com, the place it all began. Shout out to everybody who's out there sharing the podcast. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to our guys, Marcus Maven and Steve Rummage, doing the Lord's work Monday through Friday from 10 to noon on ESPN 93.9 The Ville. Sorry about my voice tonight, guys. I know it's subpar. It's unacceptable. It won't happen again unless I have to yell at somebody at work. Shout out to our guy Dalton, who's been doing Mondays with Dalton Pence from 6 to 7 on the Big X. Shout out to our friends Mark and Dan and the crew at 502 Circle, balling out, doing their thing. We're getting whoever we want to an extent. It feels like it anyway. And we're going to talk a little bit about one of the newest additions to the basketball team here in a few seconds. But where can the people find you on social media, Joey?
Joe Wallman 526.
Shawn, can you give everybody your Bumble handle? Or how about your Instagram and your Twitter?
At Elville Shawn S Barber S Barber 6 or 06, something like that.
So he's S Barber 06 on Instagram, and the 06 stands for, you know what? You'll figure it out once you get to talk to him, ladies. And then his Twitter is at Elville Shawn. Sam, what about you? Where can they, other than on the cover of Nelly's new hip hop album, where can they find you?
Baseboy 124.
I thought it was a Jodeci.
It really felt like an old school
Man.
No, he was definitely one of the
H-Town.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, if the H stand, never mind. I'm going to do that.
So it wasn't New Edition then.
No, it is a new edition. You remember when really quick, we're going to go off track for a second, but Michael Bivens had that whole East Coast family thing. It was Boys to Men, ABC, BBD. And then he had a bunch of acts. That one song was pretty dope when he had them all on there. Sam looked like he was one of the acts that sung with Craig Mack on the East Coast Family CD. That's the only reason I joked with him about that. Guys, last words, and then I'm going to get into a couple of last-minute topics, and then we'll get out of here. Sam.
Shoot. I know.
You've had all show to think about this.
The entire show.
I know.
The entire show.
He's had like 4 Fridays to think about what he's going to say the next time.
Fair. Very fair.
No, but it's kind of hard to say. Like, just
does it have a lot of syllables?
No, it's just
Words are hard.
Yeah, words are really hard. Just let your loved ones know that you love them. Like, we could be here today.
I love you.
Gone tomorrow. It's just things that are out of our control. So make sure that they know how you feel about them, and don't take anyone for granted. Don't take this day for granted. So, and that's
preach.
That's basically all I wanted to say.
It's definitely a big old yeet, as you see behind his head. You point to it, Shawn. Shawn, what about you? Merkin season in the Ville this weekend.
Oh, it's definitely Merkin season. We're sending Leonard Hamilton out in a bad way.
Okay.
It's going to be. I don't want to get too.
Yeah, don't get too.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to censor and go back and edit the show.
Too excited.
What about the Tar Heels on Sunday? What are we going to do to them?
Oh, it's going to be an absolute murk.
Okay.
An absolute.
Man, once we get on Sirius,
we're going to beat the tar out of them.
Out of those eels.
Yeah, there's going to be. They're
that's a different show.
Yeah.
Once we get on Sirius XM, we'll be able to expand on that a little bit. Hopefully, that's something that we can do in the future.
God dang, I hope so.
Joey, your last words for the evening.
Maryland sucks. Kentucky sucks.
Yeah.
Snow sucks. Rain sucks.
Nope.
Whoa.
RAIN.
Okay.
There you go.
Not the Rainmaker
Come
guy.
on, bro. Y'all know better than that, mate. Have your pets spayed and neuter like Shawn, as he has also helped controlling the population
Voluntarily.
I don't know that it's voluntarily. I mean, I don't think he wants to control the population.
Listen, Shawn could have expanded the population with that girl from the Hall of Fame Cafe, but he tapped out.
Oh, I did.
For a lack of a better word, he muffed it.
Yeah, dude, she was gorgeous.
Get it?
She was gorgeous. Yeah, I got it. Everybody got it, but Shawn, as
you
usual.
know what I'm talking about, right? Shawn, do you know what I'm talking about when I say muffed it?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't either.
I really don't. Because a lot of times Shawn will be like, you know what I'm talking about? Nope.
So here's some things to look forward to next week. As I said, we're going to talk about we're going to go into depth a little bit about the football pressers. So if you haven't watched them, people at the table, make sure that you go back and watch them. I put a link in the podcast tab.
Probably won't.
Yeah, well, you'll need to, because that's the topic of conversation.
Improvisation.
Excitement about the TBT. I've already heard some really cool things about the TBT. We may host the whole daggone thing.
Yeah.
So really, really excited about that. Our guy Blake McCauley, who does stuff, and he helped out Ben with men's basketball. Probably be taking the shoulder of that load going forward. Giggity. He started his own podcast on the CSZ network. It's called Spill in the Ville, and it is hosted by Terrence Jennings, former Louisville Cardinal. So him and Blake are going to be Blake's going to be the producer and videographer, and he's going to do he's going to be the Shawn of the show, except for
he's going to do actual work.
Except for he's going to do something, and TJ's going to have guests on that people he played with, tell stories. It's a really good concept. Really excited for them. First show airs this Sunday at 2, I believe. I forgot to tell you how to find me on social media. I'm at Jeremy_CSZ on Twitter and Instagram, where I've been posting my weight loss post on Instagram. Lost another 4 pounds this week. Killing it. I don't put that on Twitter because there's so many people I don't know on Twitter. So I'm keeping that one up personally on Instagram. Tell your friends to tell their friends about Cardinal Sports Zone so we can be friends. No diddy. Guys, we are going to have very special guests. I think I alluded to this last week, but and it may not be live because of their busy schedule, but joining us in the next week and a half are going to be Peyton Stevens, Spencer Legg. So we're going to have them in studio on the show. It's going to be a good time. Let's on the chat really quick. Let's catch up on it. Oh my God. Wes Key says Sam was the tape guy for Milli Vanilli. I see that. I can see that. I'm not even gonna hate on that one. Guys, thank you again. Every time Shawn laughs, he sounds like and I'm not, no joke, he sounds like he's got emphysema. And I don't understand why he sounds like my 85-year-old aunt that smoked 3 packs a day every day, but he does. Guys, I appreciate y'all joining us here in the studio. We're going to do this for you all as long as you all will have us. Even if some of us are starting to age a little bit. We're going to do this as long as you all keep listening and watching. Joey.
I am all in on a Joe Hendry, Elijah tag team championship run.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. We're gonna have to bring back the wrestling show at some point during the weekend, whenever we can get together and chat. Listen, for Sam Basden, for Sean Barber, for Joe Wallman, I'm Jeremy Wallman. Sean, this is where you hit the outro music. I hope you all enjoyed this week. L's up for our brother Ben. We'll miss you.
He doesn't know which button it is.
It's the you're fired. Thanks again for the support. We love you guys. Until next time, this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone
podcast. No wonder
podcast.
why you can't get a woman. Like you don't even know how to push the button.
Hey, it looked like when he was saying bye to Michelle. He was like this.
Oh yeah.
You don't know how to use his hands.